Y'all, welcome to the Dream Lab podcast. This is going to be another great episode here where we just dream, believe in each other, and do things our way. Draylon, take it away.
Hey, it's episode 37 of the Dream Lab
Woo!
podcast.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, 37. Ha, ha, ha.
He told us in the living room.
Dang.
Well, she still remember from the living room.
Yeah,
I
I got short-term memory loss.
Hey, Doreen.
Yeah, I was about to say it's giving Dory. I definitely feel that. We watched Nemo the other day.
Well, it's definitely not giving Ratatouille, so let's all shut that down. Continue with your storyline, please.
That has
Yeah,
nothing to do with Ratatouille.
I wouldn't know.
You know, people still talk about that episode.
Because y'all not right.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's 37, episode 37. It's your Captain Dre Perry. I'm here with the co-pilots, Chrissy B. I'm here with Rev Kev.
Yeah.
And we're here with you and whoever else
Did
is
you
watching.
introduce her?
Chrissy B was first.
Are you okay?
Put the cup down.
Put it down,
Ladies and
crackhead. Put it.
Y'all, today me and Chrissy are serving up your Set It Off realness. We have on all black. The only thing that
Yeah.
is missing today is our mask.
Oh.
Hide your
Because-
keys.
Hide your kids. We don't want those.
Y'all kidnappers.
Hide your
No.
keys. Hide your makeup brushes. Hide your microphones. Hide your cameras. Hide the beat.
A singer being a thief stealing microphones is crazy. Like,
Talk about got you.
Musicians steal a lot of things.
uh-oh.
Oh.
They do. Like, as a musician, like, and I'm not saying that I steal stuff, but I've had things of mine. Let me finish. I've had things. I've had things of mine, and like, you know, you leave like at church and you come back, you like, nigga, where is my?
Those dongles.
I forget. I don't. It's somewhere. They
Well,
on.
adapter
They on here. The
pieces.
adapter pieces.
Oh.
I take all of my stuff with me, and I'm saying that the church that I'm at now people steal, but I don't want to
They
give
do.
them the opportunity
just
to
saying.
steal. Is what I'm saying. So I take my headphones, my adapters, my aux cord, obviously
I
my
agree, bro.
laptop and my iPad. Anything that I bought that's mine, I'm taking with me.
Yeah.
I understand that. My cousin used to get so mad about like drumsticks and stuff coming up missing.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I know somebody's like whole symbol came missing. Like
That's
For
crazy.
real.
How did you
Taking
walk out with a symbol?
talk about. I'll take that.
Like this. They're like, hey, all right, see y'all.
You gotta go.
They
what's
walking out
that?
the.
Hey, what's that? My blessed prayer of righteousness. Gotcha. Okay.
I'm
Nigga,
a
that is
soldier.
the hi hat.
Nigga.
It back.
And it's pointing. It's pointing. That's crazy.
Every time
You
walk
hear
in-
the hi hat.
Like, why it sound like somebody singing "Order My Steps in the Hallway"? Okay, so Draylon, how you doing? You normally ask us first. Let me jump
Oh,
to it. Let's jump to it, Chrissy.
Yeah.
How you doing, Dre?
How you doing, Dre?
I'm great, guys. No, I'm fantastic, actually.
I like the plaid shirt today. I'm gonna tell you that earlier.
Thank you. Thank
I
you
think
so
the
much.
green, the light,
The
it's
line
like-
through it.
yeah, it's really dope.
Yeah,
like the green.
I don't know where I
Exactly.
got it from, but thanks
Super
so
dope.
much. I
Super dope.
appreciate it. I like your hat.
Thank you,
It's,
Fashion Nova.
it's definitely like a statement piece.
Yeah, I actually like the big pin in it. So there's
Yeah.
a store downtown Detroit that sells these snapback hats,
Uh-huh.
and he has like huge, like safety pins in the hat. So when I seen it, I was like, oh, I need that hat now. So
Oh, okay.
I can't fit hats.
you can. There's a helmet,
I can't.
Chrissy. You can
Riding the bike. I never
Put a little
wear
oil in there and just slide it on down.
slide me some more. How you doing, Dre?
No, I'm fantastic. We're getting ready to move in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Pass that Dutch. Pass that Dutch. Pass that Dutch. Woo! Pass that Dutch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So how you? So how you? Go, this is looking in this room. It's a lot to pack up, Dre.
Not really. I can pack this up in like an hour. Cause everything, like a lot of
You're
it is.
talented. I would be paranoid.
So I kind of know what I want to do. A lot of times,
Anxious?
like all of the core stuff, I'm just gonna put in something. Like it's all in the office, so it all's gonna go in the office box. So
Yeah.
Like, is that like? So let's jump into that real quick before we finish. I check in with you guys. Like with you just moving and you getting ready to move. Like how does that feel? Like the excitement of moving into a new space, but the woes of having to pack everything up. And I'm asking that because I know that I want to move into another apartment sooner or later with my brother or by myself. But I'd be looking at my house like I don't want to pack this all.
yeah.
I had no choice but to get my stuff packed up quick because that process was
Got you.
faster than expected.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of stuff was in bags. 3 meal
Literally.
bags, like throwing it
That's
in there.
that's my thing. Like,
so-
as long as it gets to the other place, like I really don't care. Like,
yeah. Now I will say the stuff that I did have, like, I definitely like better having the bathroom box, the kitchen
For
box,
sure.
the
So you're
bedroom
not that
box.
confused.
So those were okay because the stuff that was in the bags, I was like, baby, I don't know what this is. Like, I had to go.
Gotcha.
It forced me to go through it, which
Yeah.
I kind of needed to do. So
Gotcha.
that, I mean, I hate moving, but I'm grateful for the move, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
What about you, Dre?
So we kind of going through like phases as far as like phase one is getting rid of stuff that's not going.
Okay.
So like this week we're kind of ending that phase because really now we're at the point now where we're just starting to put stuff in boxes. So we're going through the closets and the cabinets and all that stuff that we know is not going to the new place. We're tossing it. So because I realized I moved, when I was younger a lot. And we took a lot of stuff that we didn't end up using in a new place. And I'm just like, that's just a lot of extra energy and,
Yeah.
space. So I'm like, we're tossing stuff and just making a list of things that we're going to get new. And then just kind of, putting stuff up. We getting movers this time because when we moved in here, we did it ourselves. And by we, I mean me, because Elise was actually sick that week.
Gotcha.
And so we were on... Did you come to the last apartment? We was on floor 3.
The 3rd floor?
Yes. We
Yes.
wrote some music there. I remember.
Yes. So
You was
yeah.
off of 94.
Yep, off 94 and Harper and 15. Yep. So
Had a couple
literally like brought
things over there.
mighty God.
Not his house, but
I was about to be like, nigga, what?
You see me look like...
I had a couple little rings over there.
Oh, mighty God.
Y'all don't be fake. Oh, Dreamland Podcast, we be real, not them being fake. But y'all don't be fake as our viewers. Y'all know y'all got a couple. You can ring my bell, la bell, ring a ling a ling, yeah. Some of y'all got some ring a ling a ling.
Sneaky links. Y'all know what he talking about.
Yeah, come
I know
on.
what
I'm
you're
still
talking about.
saved. I'm a one man band show now, but y'all know y'all had a couple that y'all could just ring up.
mean?
One-man band show?
One man band show, like I'm specifically with one person.
Oh,
Like I'm in a committed relationship.
I didn't know.
Y'all know what it was like going through that single phase where y'all had a couple options. Don't play me now.
I know. My roster's depleted.
Yeah. Back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I wasn't kid again.
Never knew those words.
Nope.
Never?
Nah.
I tried to sample it in the song before it didn't work.
Got you. But no, anyway, back to your point, just to kind of wrap that up for myself. Didn't have movers last time, so it was really on me to like bring stuff. And we did end up getting a moving truck.
Nice.
But
Okay.
it was only for a few things because most of the stuff was like the couch and the bed, all of that stuff like we ordered.
Got you.
So I
For this house is what you
yeah.
said. Okay,
So I
got
didn't
you.
feel like we needed movers, but we kind of did because, and we didn't have everything in boxes. It was in bags. It was in whatever just to get it here. And it was a lot of trips.
That 3rd floor, because my apartment's on the 2nd.
And so thankfully with the place that we're in now is literally because we're private entry. So the car's right there or the truck will be right there.
Oh, you
But-
had a garage?
Yeah, it's a garage. So
Nice.
we'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
able to stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
The pictures are gorgeous, by the way.
thank you.
Beautiful home.
So
Can't wait.
I'm excited. I'm really, really excited about
Yeah.
it. I believe that, the movers this time is definitely gonna help just save energy.
And they'll set everything up, like the beds and stuff for you.
So our bed we're not taking. We're actually getting rid of it because we're gonna get a king. We've had a queen. We wanted a king this time, but
I'm in love to you, where you want me to.
nigga, it's when you married, bro. Like you want your own bed eventually, like, but you want to be in the same bed, so you need a big enough bed.
So with a king size bed, nobody has to lay in the wet spot. They're married.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
That's not the reason why we're getting a king size bed.
But how
However,
exciting is that? Like we have a
Exact-
whole other. We were from the king, now we're on the queen side. Leave the peasants to the right.
Oh, my God.
You're an
I'm
idiot,
sorry, y'all.
bro.
I'm in a good mood today.
That's fine. But no. So I'm excited about the move.
Dope.
And I'm excited just to have another bathroom. Actually, 2 more bathrooms.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. We got 3 full bathrooms. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm excited for y'all. You guys have definitely deserved it. Like I've said in the other episode, I think throughout the process of us filming the last few seasons, just to see how we all started from season 1 to seeing the manifestation of things that we've all worked on. It's really nice to physically, tangibly see the blessing of what consistency and hard work gets you. So kudos to you two today. Yeah. So Chrissy, how you doing? What's up, girl?
I'm doing good.
You looking good? She giving inches, giving us a nasty brown lip today with a nasty lash and a light beat. Well, let me say one thing I do appreciate about your makeup is that your freckles and everything still pokes through.
Yeah.
Gives a cute, natural look. I love
you.
it.
Period.
Okay, now ask
Sock
me how I'm
Glam, Bentley Beauty.
Your Valentine's Day pictures ate too, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was lit. I want to, because I haven't been into like the whole photo shoot thing. I remember you were saying something. I'm sorry, whatever. But I remember you saying something about like you had almost like every month you were able to take pictures or something like that, like a package. I want one of those.
I think it is smart and important for the industry that you are so gracefully killing and working in, because it constantly shows and displays your work. And I can honestly say, from a friend perspective and a consumer, but I mean, you've never done my makeup. Like my friend who's doing the video, I recommended you to her.
Period. Thank you.
Seeing your progress of how you've been moving and your work has been like morphing into your brand is really dope.
Thank you.
So I think that's a really good thing to stay consistent with your content.
Yeah.
Because one, it sets you apart from everybody else. I mean, it's cool, y'all. It's nothing against us doing our own pictures at home or our pictures with our cameras, but it's a different perspective when somebody else gets to get behind the lens and you get to creatively create what exactly it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
I sound like I'm in my bag a little bit.
That was, wow.
Woo!
But I feel I've had a good week. This weekend I rested. Like Friday I took off work, and then Saturday obviously I was off work as well. But I did not leave my apartment. I stayed home.
Period.
I was ugly in peace, and it was great.
So we're not talking about Valentine's Day.
Oh.
No.
Oh, that's fine. We can move on.
No, I literally no. But for Valentine's Day, I chilled.
That's fine.
I chilled. I
That's
found
fine.
me a good movie, got me some takeout, and I was good.
Hey.
You chill for real?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that offline.
Okay.
Okay, somebody asked me how I'm doing.
Kevin.
How are you, Kevin?
Feel good. Yeah. I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Feels good. Shoo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. What's
I'm
going on with my headphones? Okay, there we
got too
go.
much in your head. Do you want the cup holder?
No, I'm good. I'm back.
Okay.
I'm feeling really good. Before we started taping, I got a chance to catch up with Elise, check in with my good sis. We enjoyed us a bottle of Tabitha Brown's wine. That's probably why I'm feeling really good this episode. Overall,
Oh, that's what that was?
yeah.
You got to bring that other wine, too, that you had.
The peach Bellini.
Yes.
Got you.
Oh
Audi, $4.
And I
That
didn't
was-
get a headache.
Oh, get a couple of them
Yeah,
because
yeah.
those.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll be
what?
the setup when we
Y'all
do the
come
movie.
over.
Oh, I gotta
Y'all
get
still
two for
good.
both houses.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey.
Yep.
But I'm feeling good, y'all.
Every
So the single is finally mixed and mastered.
The single is singling.
Yeah. Jalen got to come in for the last session. I had to go back and do some things that I knew that needed to be added for just to give it that for people to feel like
I have your files as well.
totally. Oh, I forgot. Yes, can I? Whenever you're ready.
Yep.
But I really feel good this week, y'all. I started a new book. I was kind of talking to Elise about it earlier, called Atomic Habits. That's just been putting a lot of things into perspective for me about developing new systems to maintain
I
the
think
goals.
she's reading that or started it.
Bro, totally amazing. Totally amazing. The first 2 chapters really knocked me off my feet. So it's just putting a lot of different things into perspective for me. But in general, I'm feeling good. Like I just, health wise, I feel better. Knowing that I lost 10 pounds has been
Let's
like.
get some commotion for
Thank
that.
you.
Commotion for the pounds. For the
that-
pounds.
That's been really dope.
Pound for pound.
Pound for pound. Having self-control, developing new habits.
I was about to keep this shit going.
Pound for pounds for pounds.
I was about to be like,
One clap per pound.
I thought it was like pound town. I'm like, whoa.
I mean, sometimes you gotta throw the pounds in the pound town.
Woo!
Mighty God, keep going.
But
Sorry.
everything's been good. Like I really don't have any complaints. Like I said, January was totally amazing. February has given me more informative things where I'm like looking at my life a little differently. Like, okay, well, what needs to change? Like, are you overworking? Are you doing certain jobs because of the money? Are you not budgeting your money correctly where you feel like you have to do these jobs? So that was like the question that I had to ask myself. I ended up doing a gig, and I don't mind talking about it. I did a gig on Valentine's Day. I celebrated Valentine's Day the week before because me and my partner were both working. So we just made it work. Mm-hmm. But I sat in the rehearsal and I was kind of disappointed in myself because I knew that I had not put my 100% self into getting done what I need to get done. And I was telling my bro Tyrone, I was like, I will never overbook myself for the sake of money anymore. I know that I'm getting like the financial literacy thing down packed. And of course, because I do not work a regular 9-to-5 job, it is easier for me to make the money that I can and will off of gigs. Mm-hmm. But I told myself that was the last gig that I would do where I knew that I could not fully commit myself to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like, granted, yes, I did get paid the full amount, but the conviction in me and the person that I am.
Because this is what you do for real.
Yes.
And you have a passion and a heart for it.
You ought to give it, you have to give it 110% because my thing is I never want anybody to experience my gift behind closed doors and say, well, he gave a great performance, but his
mind wasn't
practice.
Like,
yeah. But I tell my students all the time, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Yeah. You can practice the wrong thing and it becomes permanently embedded into your mind.
Yeah.
Which is why some tenors sing the wrong note and sopranos think they're altos, but that's a whole other conversation for a different day.
I am an alto.
You're a liar.
Okay.
You're a soprano that does amazing makeup and has an amazing brand. And she's a millionaire that makes great products. But I didn't mean to call you a liar. That was kind of harsh. But I think, you be
lying sometime, bro. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding.
But just putting yourself in, like having that reality check was really dope for me.
Yeah.
Just to understand like, hey, bro, don't get so comfortable with your gift and your ability that you know that your voice, your charisma, who you are can shake a room, that you don't prepare for those moments. It's one thing to be able to shake a room when you're prepared. Then I would just use my talent as a thing to overshadow that I didn't prepare. Like,
and so many people do that because I think a lot of times people get that notoriety, that recognition, and they let it go to their head, and it's just you ride that wave for as long as you can, and then you look up and it's 30 years later and you still like trying to live off that one song that you put out 30 years ago.
Or they're doing covers every set.
And so it's kind of like okay, but what have you done since then? Like, because the thing is, what you did was cool and we celebrated in that moment, but time still goes on.
Yeah.
New things come out, new people come out. There's new ways to do stuff now. What have you done since then? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, they wonder why they can't make it to the next level. It's just because you still operating on the last level that you've been on. Like, so it's good that you do that reflection. I mean, of course, give yourself some grace because you're not going to be able to give 100% every time.
No, yeah. But you know what? But just understanding, because that was one thing that I learned from the psychology of money was with the jobs that you guys work as far as 9-to-5 and supporting you both your dreams. One thing that the book said was, are you working as hard or do you not take days off because you have not saved enough money to cover you taking off for a week or you taking off for a month? So after reading that chapter of the book of understanding, like the reason we work so hard is because we got to get the money. Mm-hmm. No, have you saved enough money where you could take care of 3 months of rent, grocery, all of your bills?
Literally, that's the goal for the new year, bro.
And that's me.
Is to I actually want to have like a couple months.
Yeah.
Just so in the event that if Elise is just like I've been kind of sick back to back, I'm just gonna take some time off. Yep. We got the money to cover it. Or if I need to take some time off, anything can happen. I think that we gotta be in the future. You have to be in the future.
Yes, sir.
Right now, you can't be in the right now. Like, appreciate now, but mentally you do have to be in the future to prepare yourself for what's to come, because it's just like, God forbid something happens to your voice.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when some people, when they do get older, their voice goes out a little bit, or they're not as polished as they used to be. Okay, I get it. With age, that happens. But then it's just like, but if you had some, investments or some other stuff going on, or some businesses or whatever you had, allowing your money that you make to make you money, then in the future you don't, because 30 years from now you might be tired of singing every week. You see what I'm saying? Like, prayerfully, you don't have to go, and I don't believe this. But, so many people end up down that same pipeline.
Oh, that won't be me.
Doing the same. Yeah, and I don't believe that at all. But this is just for anybody listening. Like, don't fall down the pipeline just because, it's just kind of like what you saw other people doing. And I really think that's going to be great into today's topic.
Yeah. Sure, for sure.
So we actually, let's do your
news update.
Yep.
Yeah, really fast, y'all. All right, y'all. Welcome to the segue of Rev Kev News. Y'all, the only thing, two things. I'm still talking about my girl Beyonce. I'm just not understanding, y'all, how Beyonce pre-sale tickets were extremely high, but the Ticketmaster pre-sale, Verizon Wireless, all of those other companies, their tickets were half the price of what Beyonce was doing. I don't know if it was just me, but the prices that I was looking up and the seats that I wanted were much cheaper. I hope they figure that out. If not, I'm not really interested in going to see Cowboy Carter anymore. If something happens, naturally so, I'll go. If not, I'm not bugging about it. Second thing, did y'all see that little baby at the press conference with the president and Elon Musk?
That was that little baby's press conference.
He stole the show, but damn it, he needed his behind whooped.
I mean,
I didn't see
whooped.
it.
If he was black, a black mama would have told him what happens in my house stays in my house. He talked and said so much stuff. This is why I know, and I hope the camera zooms in on me. This is how I know that was a Black History moment. Because that showed you what y'all allow versus what us brownies allow.
First of all, that little boy would have been sitting in a chair, somebody behind one of them lights.
Mouth would have been shut.
Sit down, and when I get done, then we go get some McDonald's. But right now, you're going to sit down and you're going to be quiet.
I'm trying to, as a matter of fact, what was your mama? Because your mama, my mama would have had to do this.
Okay, the tight lip.
That's what's wrong with some of y'all.
But here's
opposite
the thing.
Of brownie people.
But here's
y'all
the thing.
Not tightening up y'all lips at y'all kids.
They didn't even look at it as a problem. Because the little boy, the stuff that he was saying to Trump, first of all, back in the day, even if you don't really mess with Trump, which I don't, but there's still a level of respect you give the president.
Can you all tell the people and me what happened?
So basically, there's a press conference. Elon Musk is in the Oval Office. Trump is sitting at the desk, but Elon Musk is kind of doing all the talking, which already is giving red flags because it's just like, I'm sorry, is he the president? Like, who is this guy? Like, he's a part of your cabinet, but he's not like a politician. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But
he gave 20
right, but it's the money. It's
$20 million,
it's the money that
million.
he's backed up. So basically, he's there answering questions. Trump is just kind of sitting there, kind of looking like the poster child, kind of like, I just became president because you technically can't be president because you're not from here.
Okay.
That's what it kind of gave. But anyway, Elon Musk was there with his son, and his son was just kind of doing whatever. Why they just doing this press conference and they talking and all that stuff, and then Trump is saying something or whatever, and he looked at him and it's kind of like he was saying like, "Shut up, like shut your mouth, like you're not the president, you're not my president."
And he kept saying like I'm like, at some point, are y'all gonna shut this kid up?
And here's the thing, him saying that means that he's sitting around some adults that's saying that, which means that's why I said they don't look at this as an issue because they allow him to sit in grown folks' conversation because that's another thing for Black History Month. You know doggone well if your parents was having a conversation.
You went to the basement. You went upstairs.
You went in nowhere near where they was having this conversation. You go sit somewhere. This is grown folks talking in here.
Because let them be talking and you look like you looking at them for too long.
Get out my mouth is what my mama used to say.
Jalita Stewart would twist my ear and say, "Go sit down." My grandma had a house on 6 Mile and Greenfield. The street to this day is called Press. It's a white liquor store sitting right there. When they got to talking in that dining room or that den,
you needed
the
to go on
kids either
somewhere.
went upstairs in Grandma Rosa's room or we went in that basement and played on that organ.
See, they just be letting these kids just sit in anything. No. You go. This ain't for you because kids are very impressionable, and even though like you can whatever you say is how you feel, whatever. But the thing is, when a kid gets that, a kid doesn't know how to internalize that. They don't know how to take that. Yeah. So now you going around saying stuff that you ain't got no business saying. And that's why y'all business to be out in the street because y'all be saying whatever in front of these kids.
But
my mama's lights is off.
My daddy don't pay his child support.
Why would you not and then even when Trump started talking, Elon Musk takes the baby and puts him on his shoulders. I'm like, this is not the park.
This is how I know Elon Musk don't give a damn. This is a press conference. This is the White House. My nigga, you should have been in a suit. That nigga came in jeans, a trench coat, and a hat. Even I know, the nigga who goes against tradition, I know when you go into a place like that, you take your hat off.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't see any
you got to look up that video. It's very interesting. Like, it's just kind of like, and I know that we're going into the future and things are changing, but it's kind of like just, out of everybody that's going to be disrespectful, it's going to be the nigga that's not even from here. That's not the president. Like, y'all just gonna let him do whatever.
And
like,
he needs to be going back to his country, but that's a whole other topic for a different day. Y'all, this has been Rev Kev's News. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all enjoying my segment. Bye.
Period.
You know what? I'm gonna make up a segment right now. Chrissy, tell us about some fun products you used this week. Go. And your beat. Come on. Beauty Beats by Chrissy B. Let's go. That's your new segment.
That's my new segment.
Beauty Tips by Chrissy B. Let's go.
I use the same thing.
Let's go.
Okay.
Tell them about it.
All right.
Or just give us a tip.
Yeah, give the ladies a beauty tip. Let's
okay,
go.
here's a
just
beauty
the tip.
Yeah, just one.
Not the shaft, just the tip.
Oh my God.
I've
couldn't.
been watching The Office, so I was like, that's what she said. That's what she said.
All right, KCB, come on, get the ladies a tip.
All right, so the beauty tip of the week. Ladies, are you wondering why you're not getting that flawless finish on your face? It's because you're not moisturizing prior to applying your makeup. You have to moisturize. Like, even if you have, I love the...
we
Y'all
intense.
interesting.
I'm
Because
trying
I want to ask you. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're saying moisturizing.
So-
Chrissy, walk us through some moisturizers that's good for makeup.
So good moisture. So for me, I have very sensitive skin. So I stick to I always mix up Cetaphil and CeraVe. I think it's CeraVe, but I use just their sensitive skin moisturizer. Let me think. A lot of people use like the La Roche-Posay, something like that. It sounds interesting, but just whatever moisturizer works best for you, so that then you will move on to like your primer and things like that in your application. But the moisturizer is key to the flawless finish, whether you have dry skin or you have oily skin. If you have oily skin, you can kind of, set it with the right powders and things, but still, please make sure you moisturize your face.
Moisturize your face. And according to my wife, moisturize your body. Because I only put lotion on the parts that niggas can see.
You don't lotion your body?
I do, but I don't do it every day.
So wait, do you ever feel ashy? Or is that because my skin type is dry?
Oh, yes. When I feel ashy, I'll be like, yeah, bro, I got to do something about that.
Really?
Yeah, I can't.
So why don't you just do it in general?
In general, like if I'm about to go at the house...
Really?
Hit
After
them
you dry
elbows.
off?
Yeah, like...
Oh, I have a whole process, brother.
Yeah, I see. And
Have you
that's
ever used scented shea butters?
So I have very sensitive skin.
Got you. Okay.
So I'm very particular about what I put on, my body.
Understandable,
So
yeah.
that's why I think sometimes I derive from putting anything on it instead of just
Understandable.
because but then I'll just look at my legs and I'll be like, nigga, like
You
I will say,
got to do something.
I
about
know
this.
we light, but
I've
God,
never
that
seen
is
you wear
hot.
shorts in the summertime, bro.
I've never been like a shorts person. But I do.
I know when y'all did your honeymoon
do.
pictures, I did see the ones on the beach, but I've never. Now that I think about it, I've never seen you wear like. No, I'm lying. Because at the house, like when we recorded in the summertime, you did.
Yeah, I would.
basketball
Yeah,
shorts.
I think
I've never seen you ashy though. I guess I'll say.
Oh
that.
no, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna see my legs, I'm gonna make
a
sure that
lotion.
that they
Yeah.
lotioned up. So the summertime,
Understandable.
I usually, for the most part, I make sure that I'm hydrated. But anyway, that was just a kind of a piggyback off of you saying, ladies, hydrate your
Your skin.
But yeah, that's a beauty tip from Chrissy B.
Yeah, that's your new segment. I found it for you. Hey.
Really?
Yep. So next week you got to do something else.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And two, when you go home tonight, you need to moisturize your face so you can drop a video in if you're doing it. Thank you. All right, Dre, let's get into the
Not
topic.
you giving niggas homework.
Yeah, come on. Everybody got their own piece.
All right, let's get into it. So, main topic of the day, I wanted to talk about
Drum roll, please. Wait.
rewriting the rules, letting go of what doesn't serve you. That's dumb.
Rewriting the rules.
Rewriting the rules. So more so like for your life. A lot of us take on the traditions in the customs of our parents, grandparents, you know, our environment before us. And which there's nothing wrong with it, but the problem comes when we apply it to our lives and it's actually doing us more harm than good because it doesn't align with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so some of us don't become aware of it, and we wonder why we got this friction, right? Yeah. It's because you have taken on things like I'll give you an example. Elisa and I decided that Christmas time we want to just create new traditions. We low key like, and we may not do it every year, but we want to be out of town on Christmas. Like this year, we're going to Orlando.
Love it.
We want to do just different things, and us deciding to create traditions for our family. Had I had like a mom or a family that was very traditional and was like, well, we do this, and it's just like, you know, some people clash then because it's just like, well, I'm on my own. I got my own family now. Yeah. And this is what we're deciding to do, you know, for us. And then you got to deal with maybe family who don't agree with the decisions that you're making. So it's like dealing with that friction is just like, how far do I appease them? Do I just say, you know, y'all can kiss my ass? Like it's how do you lean towards it? So I think
I'm thinking heavy on the kiss my behind.
No, for real. Like heavy on the kiss my ass. Like what? What? You said I got to do what? And that's the thing, like, and I'm going to let y'all chime in, but I think a lot of times it's parents, it's adults who get to a certain point and they have that kind of rule over you when you're a child. But once you're gone and they ain't got nobody to boss around, and a lot of times people do end up just being like bossy to their children. They want to kind of run their lives, and it's just like, well, you can't now. They're gone. They're doing their own thing. They're grown. They got their own bills at their house. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You know, I got my own family, so you know, I don't have a family like that. But just, you know, like, you know, me and my mom in the past have like, you know, bumped heads about certain things.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, okay, you know, I'm Draylon. You know, I'm doing something totally different. So how do? First of all, have y'all ever experienced that?
I'm experiencing it now.
Okay.
Personally, with my relationship, us just figuring out how things look for us. But I think in general, there is a compromise for me because I've seen my cousin Christy do it, where a lot of times we don't see Christy around Christmas or Thanksgiving. Well, one, because on my father's, I say this on my father's side of the family, which is where my cousin Christy, she's on my father's side. Typically, we see each other at the farm. My family has land in Owasso, Michigan. I think I've already told you that.
Owasso.
Yep, Owasso. Y'all would love it. One day we should really go up there, but I'm gonna make that happen. But she typically, we don't see her on Thanksgiving because we all of the stewards go to the farm. But she is married. But what I've come to understand and notice about it is those are the traditions that she has developed with her husband, and I totally respect it. And I think on Christmas she may spend that with my Uncle Calvin and Auntie Ruthie. But I think for me, now I understand the compromise between the two. Yes, I do want to set new traditions, but I do understand that there are some traditions of us just being together that I will personally want to maintain. So like there was a conversation this year, like, well, would you want to try to come to Thanksgiving with me, or are you open to me coming to Thanksgiving over there, or what makes sense? Which we didn't really make it count this year.
Yeah, I heard that too. I don't know what that was.
You got a notification. I know that song very well. Either like, how do we compromise between the families? But like in what you're saying, I believe in developing your own traditions for your family, and your own memories are important. But I do think that there is a sense of, let us all compromise and figure it out. Like, let me have my own identity with my family, my wife, my kid, to figure out what we want to establish as a family. But also let me and the rest of the family compromise. Okay, maybe Christmas is where we go and do something different, and maybe Thanksgiving I will give that to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So there's a thing between it, but it's keeping your own identity with your family, with your wife, with your child, with your significant other is very important because, like Draylon is saying, one, it establishes a strong boundary, and two, it helps you to establish your identity for your family, because that's very important. Like, you want to make sure that you have that moment where Dallas remembers certain things, and when I have kids and when you have children, they'll be like, man, I'm looking forward to, every Thanksgiving we're going here, and then for Christmas we're going to be at Big Mama house because that's what we do. But I think that's very important in having your own identity, like when it comes
And
to
it's
stuff
not
like that.
just with family and coming together. It's the stuff that you take from family, like the mindsets and different things
Yes, sir.
like that. Like,
Because I don't want to go to funerals. If you die, you died.
yeah, I'm
I'm
not big on,
bullcrapping.
but I'm no certain
was like,
things
ooh.
like certain things you can't question because I mean it's your life at the end of the day.
Yeah, true.
And I get, you know, like my grandfather used to say, sometimes you got to just do the stuff you don't want to do. And to a degree, yeah, but to a degree,
No.
hell no.
Yeah.
Like it's certain things I don't want to do it. I'm not gonna, and I don't
Yeah.
have to do it. And I'm not gonna feel bad. And it took me a long time to get there. But, Chrissy, did you have anything to add to that? We're gonna take
I
a
mean,
break in
I
a second.
definitely do understand the importance of developing your own tradition or your own path.
Mm-hmm.
I guess for me, right now, I'm in this weird spot that I kind of miss the traditions that my family did have. Well, just using the example of like holidays and stuff,
Yeah.
because ever since my grandma passed in 2020, my family, the traditions that we did have, we don't have anymore.
Yeah, non-existent. Yeah.
And it's just like, although yes, we are all kind of doing our own thing, I miss the together, like the traditions that we had. Like we knew the big holidays,
This is where we're gonna be.
that's
yeah.
where we were going to be, at grandma's house. We're all gonna, and even if we weren't at grandma's house, we were at auntie's house, we were all together.
Yeah.
So I miss those traditions, but I do understand the need for a balance though,
Because it's
well.
almost like when it's the inevitable, like when the new happens, it's like in with the in with the new, in with the new,
And I'll go.
out with the
Because that was good. I'm like, who?
the new, out with the old. But you know how
Yeah.
that goes. Like once there's something new, it's usually like it. You know, we talked about in 2024, like the newness that was coming into our lives, and then some of the old stuff and people that were like breaking
Yeah.
off. It's just the kind of the way of the universe. It's just kind of the way it works. So once you do embark into those new traditions or the new way of thinking,
Yeah.
you are gonna have that. Yeah, I remember we used to have like, you know, my grandma used to make, you know, this soul food. Da, da, da. It's like if you decide to change your diet. Now we vegan now.
Yeah.
Now you thinking about them old soul food dinners that, you know, like even though the food wasn't good for you, the fellowship was.
Yeah.
So now it's like you're grieving that as well at the same time of trying to create something new, because like with Dallas, she not about to be eating that BS that we were fed and we were allowed to eat. It's difficult for us to cut it off, and we still eat it from time to time. But it's like if she never gets introduced to it, she never has to
Yeah.
deal with
unlearning it.
exactly. So I'm like, it's gonna be difficult because I remember my mom like, oh, we're going to McDonald's, and then you know you go and be in the playpen and all of that stuff. I remember that, and it was so much fun. But it's just like, dang, I'm not gonna be able to do that with my kid. You got to create something new then to
Yeah.
replace it,
Yeah.
because I mean, like I don't want to give her the same. Not everything we got was toxic, but some of the toxic things for the sake of, oh, this is, I remember we used to, no, nigga, like, what's the, you know,
That's why we got diabetes now.
literally that high blood pressure, niggas
God,
overweight, all of that
them
stuff.
French fries.
Okay.
But we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back.
Bye.
It's-
And you're going to jail.
Why they going to jail? Event. You need to be there. Dream Lab Live. Not December. What the here? What's wrong with? Go to the website right now. You need a ticket? Go to Dream Lab. The Dream Lab.
The Dreamlight Pod.
We need you there. Well, I mean, we don't need you there. We want you there. You need. All right, I don't like it. Do it.
Oh.
They still ain't got their tickets for the Dream Lab Pod show. What? Come here, y'all.
My feet hurt. Cause I'm about to admit, y'all come look at this. Come look at this. Jay, look. This individual got their ticket. You don't have your ticket. And you wrong for not having it. You need to go to the Dream Lab.
Account, you got it.
You wait on me.
You'll be hearing from my attorney.
All right, one more time. Hold on. We got this. I promise we got it.
You better have it. I'm just saying.
All right.
Just saying.
Yeah, how do you deal with the expectations then of family and, you know, just kind of the backlash that you get? Because, you know, I think sometimes when you try to go a different way, some family members feel like, are you trying to say that I didn't do a good enough job, or they kind of take it personally? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, oh, you're doing it like, so what's wrong with the way I just, sometimes you'll hear older people say, oh, well, I mean, we did it and it was just fine. It didn't kill us. Kind of saying like, you don't need to do anything different. You can just do the same way that I did. And it'll work out fine for you because it worked out fine for me. And it's just like, you didn't even use critical thinking when you came to that conclusion. Like, you just decided, oh, I'm going to just go ahead and do this because it just made sense at the time. But
yeah,
it's been harder for me, if I could be totally honest. There's been some honest conversations that I've had with my brother, which has made me and Donovan closer, and my cousin Myron, where people, they kind of felt like I was the golden child. Where it was like, you were the star, you were the singer, you were the one in the limelight, you were the one everybody was pushing. But for Donovan, he sometimes felt like nobody went to the basketball games, or they didn't care about what he had going on as much as they cared about me singing at Bishop such and such service or somebody's revival. Or my cousin may not have felt like he got the same support with what he was doing with music and trying to drum and do different things. But I'd be like, y'all, I mean, I get it. Y'all thought I was the golden child, but hell, I was the one being questioned about being gay all the time and fighting my own identity and figuring out certain things.
It's always it's always like, people they don't see the other side of what you go
Which
through.
I'm not like hurt or broken. I'm just using it as an example where that was one thing that I had to free myself of over the last 5 years of, I'm not the saint that y'all try to paint me out to be. And y'all may not be doing it intentionally, but I know because y'all see me on the platforms and I'm doing these things and I'm out with these people and people know me, I'm not an angel and I'm not the devil either. Right. But don't put the unrealistic expectation on me of being something that I'm not.
Or the expectation of, being something I'm not, or something that you feel as if I should be.
I'm not.
Based on the way you look at life and the way you think. And it's just like, we're not the same person. Like, you know, and I think it's really hard for people to allow people to just be themselves and to grow and go in their direction.
Yeah. And just genuinely showing that love. Like talking to them about that, it just made me like really look at, how do we treat our nieces and nephews, our kids, our sons and daughters? Like, do we make sure that the love is spread around? Do we understand their goals and their dreams? Like, I know that you have a sibling, like, and you have siblings. Like, there are moments, I'm sure, where all of us have felt from being an older brother or a younger brother, where this person got more love or this person got more support or they got more help with their kids and I didn't get help with mine, or my mom supported this one differently, or this one got away with this one differently versus it was a little more pressure on me. Some of those things affect the way that we look at stuff. Like for me, I had to grow up quick. I got out of high school, my mom and daddy told me I had to instantly find a job. Where Donovan, it felt like Donovan had a little more time to just do stuff. And I'm like, nigga, when I got out of high school, I was bagging groceries at Kroger. 2 months after that, I was a damn cashier.
But do you think then that's the mindset that was taken down from the generation before them, whereas you out of high school, you work, you get a job, you got to...
I think so, but I would say this, and I'll get off of it to give you guys a chance to answer, or Chrissy or whoever a chance to answer. My father fought so hard not to be like my grandfather.
That you end up being...
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He just fought so very hard. I mean, I'm kind of answering your question.
No, I get you. I hear you.
Where my father made sure that he was so loving and attentive to us because my grandfather wasn't to him. And I can publicly say this because my daddy talks about this. I'm going to take my glasses off for this. My father, my mom, she's of course amazing. She's like my best friend. But my dad is more the disciplinary. But my grandfather, the way that certain things were done to my dad, he made sure that he did not do that to his sons. Like my father was always communicative, like even with me, anything with sexuality or me trying to figure things out, my father was always trying to know what was going on, not from a judgmental standpoint, but from a standpoint of you're my son and I love you. One thing that my father told me, then I'll move on. He told me when we had a conversation about sexuality, my dad said, I always told the Lord, when you were born, and when y'all see my daddy one day, ask him about when I was born. When I was born,
when was Kevin born?
I came out of my mom's.
I'm gonna ask him. He gonna be like, "What you mean? The nigga was born."
No. So when I was born, I came out of my mom. You know how? Well, you know when
you're born, you come out of your mom's vagina, right?
Did she have a C-section or natural?
C-section.
Okay, typically when we come out natural, our heads are like cone heads, and then they have to like shape them down. My daddy didn't know, so when he
who
saw
the hell
me,
was shaping my shit?
you know what?
Stevie Wonder.
No, it was a black doctor because you got a big head.
You know.
But my dad seen my head. He was like, "Oh, okay." And he told me, he said, in that moment, I told myself, because he didn't know if anything was wrong with me. He said, God, no matter what's wrong with my child, if they have a disability or whatever it is, I'm going to love this baby through and through. So that was the conversation, even with sexuality. My dad was like, I don't care about any of the other stuff. You're my child. I want to love you through and through. Everybody has their own differences, which I respect. But my father showed me what the love of Christ looks like.
But that should be that should always be the answer. It shouldn't be anything outside of that.
For a lot of black families, it ain't. Baby,
And
they
the thing
stone
is,
you like you were Mary
and what's
Magdalene.
crazy, it's not just black families, it's white families, it's all different types of families. I think
True.
that's something
Facts.
that's so universal. But that should always be the response, especially if we're identifying as Christians. That should always be the response. It shouldn't be, well, you doing it. You know, like we'll let somebody slide that eats a whole lot, but if they gay, we just be like, oh, I can't be around them because you gonna catch something, nigga. What are you talking about? What's your problem? Like,
Okay, because you're eating mama's and we're all sometimes sharing your cup to see what your wine tastes like.
mighty God.
I haven't developed AIDS. Neither have I gotten pregnant. Next. I mean, I'm just being honest. They act like gay is a disease. No.
But I think also, and that's even we'll move on because that's not the topic. But
Right. Quickly.
I do believe, because this is even more so if you look at racism, a lot of the stuff is just learned and is generational.
Yeah.
So if you had a grandmother and a grandfather who used to openly say things about homosexuals in the house, and then that's all you heard, that's all you know, and if they only allowed you to watch certain things that substantiated the claims and the beliefs that they had, that's all you know. So then you grow up, and then you learn, obviously there's more to the world than what you know, but then it's hard as hell to then go against what you know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not saying that I am okay with homophobia or racism. Obviously, I'm not. But you see it and you kind of understand how those people got to that point. You see it, and so it's kind of like, how then do we take that stuff, even if it's not homophobia or racism, but from generation to generation, and now do something different, present something different to the next generation? Because that is a tradition that niggas pass down, racism and hatred and these stereotypes and different things like that, that are passed down. And it's kind of like, once you know better, you got to do better. So it's usually on the people who get that awareness first, because now that you're dealing with the generations before and their backlash on you wanting to do something else, and then you're dealing with your internal, because now you're trying to pass down something new.
Facts. Facts, bro.
Yeah. So that's my point, Chrissy. I don't know if you had anything else.
Do you have to deal with that? Like, what was the question?
Just more so about, have you ever had to deal with family kind of like
Pushing their beliefs on you.
or push back on you wanted to do something different, even if it's as simple as, like maybe your mom was like, I don't think you should have a boyfriend until you get married, but you might be like,
A boyfriend until you get married.
but she might be like,
that was
no,
good, but I'm confused.
but no, I want to go out on, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at,
Okay, sorry. No, I was just like, I was so into what we were talking about. I was like,
Sorry.
dang, what was we talking about? But no,
Sorry.
you're good. You're good. But I definitely, for me, I guess the only thing that I would be able to say kind of got pushed on me would be more so like our spiritual journeys, like our spiritual walks or whatnot. So my family, I obviously I was a pew baby. Okay. So I grew up in church, that's all, that's all I know, or all I knew. And so, I grew up a certain type of lifestyle. My parents showed us, a certain type of lifestyle. And so in getting older and going our own ways, it kind of was like, so for me, like a certain conviction I don't have a conviction about drinking.
mm-hmm.
Like I will drink alcohol. I don't mind drinking alcohol. I don't feel convicted
she's
about
like,
it now.
it's tasty.
I like it, actually.
It's nice.
But it's definitely not like I'm just sitting up here like an alcoholic, like I'm a
Right.
drunk or something like that, where I'm sitting here getting drunk all the time. No, if I go to a restaurant and I see a nice cocktail I want to get, I'm going to get it.
Yeah,
like I
I'm
don't
with
have
you on
that. I don't have that conviction. Whereas my parents, they're like, no.
Yeah.
Like I'm not drinking. That's not me. They will not listen to certain music. Like it, and for me, I won't listen to certain music either. But like, that's why now a lot of songs that y'all might bring up or albums, baby, I didn't know because I was listening to Shekinah Glory, Byron Cage.
Okay.
Like
Byron, but Shekinah Glory, bye.
Mighty
no,
God.
I was listening to all of those things, you know, like growing up. So all of the different movies and music and you know, just different experiences that a lot of people had younger.
Yeah.
I'm just now starting to get, and I had to get it on my own because I didn't grow up that way. So now that I am starting to do certain things like, you know, drink or, you know, I might go out to a club or something like that. I don't know, not no more. But, you know, I did like going out to the club, just different things like that. It's like, why are you doing that? Like, you know, getting tattoos. That was another one.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like, you did tell me that, you know, you told us that you came from that kind of like, you know, more religious background. So then it's like, how did the tattoo conversation go?
So I had always been open because I was living at home at the time. And so I was like, I really want a tattoo. And I will say I appreciate, especially my mom. Her question is always, well, did you pray about it? I'm like,
what did the Lord say?
Yeah, and I'm like, yes. Sometimes I might be fibbing. I did not pray about it, but
like
because I'm like, I just feel good.
She say shit. Oh my God! Sorry, God, do not strike us down in the middle of this podcast.
I feel like you know, I feel pretty good about it. I don't feel convicted, so I'm good. You know, so she hasn't like too much pushed the belief. Like, no, don't do it, don't do it. But it is always kind of that like, why are you doing that? You sure you want to do that?
Yeah.
I don't like that. And so I had to kind of get out of the people pleaser in me because for a long time I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do it because now it's not F what y'all say, because I still very much respect what my parents say.
And take into consideration.
Yes, and I take in consideration everything that they say. Like, I grew up, I had an amazing childhood, the standards that they set for me, not saying everything was, you know,
right, because nobody's perfect,
right, but some of it was just a bit much for me personally, you know. So now in that, I'm just unlearning certain things, and so I would have to say that will be the most like something being pushed on me.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't even know why I didn't think about that first. Like, no, for real, because that's something as simple as, you know, like, then how are you going to respond to your children that want to get a tattoo? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, growing up, I was kind of led to believe that just by different people in my family. You know, my grandparents were kind of very the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
You know, they follow the rules. They did what they needed to do. They didn't do too much. And so I think that's where I get that stay in the house mentality from. Kind of just, you know, stay to myself, not do too much. But then I always knew there was another side, and you know, it's kind of like the people that get a lot of different results in their life or be able to kind of live their life on a certain level. Is you do take risks. You see what I'm saying? And then I'm being a creative and wanting to do stuff, like, you can't be timid. Like, nigga, you got to be ready to go out there and get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was an internal battle, and I think it is with a lot of people, even with when the next generation does do something that kind of go against what you were raised on. Sometimes I think parents then start to question, like, I don't even know why I believe that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it's kind of like, I'm saying I don't want you to do it because it's going against this mental thing that I got going on. Like, I kind of don't see an issue with it, but I can't mentally wrap my mind around it because of what I'm conditioned to believe, right?
Yeah. And my mom, like, going back to the tattoo thing, she told me, like, she wanted to get a tattoo, but her personally, like, she had this certain conviction about it or whatnot, and she didn't get it. And I'm all for it. And one thing about my parents, one thing I can say is that they are consistent. Like, how you see them is how they are. Whether we're at home, in public, at a restaurant, at church, like, they are consistent. So that's one thing, one of the many things that I want to take from them is I want you to see consistency when you see me. Like, no, oh, this is the Christian at church, this is Christian at work, this is Christian at podcast. Like, no, I'm consistent all the way around.
That's good.
I love that.
Period.
I'm always hot.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. So, did y'all have anything else that y'all want to add to that conversation? No,
I'm glad that we're opening ourselves up to that, though, because it is kind of making me think about a lot of things. Because I had a conversation with my partner about a lot of that stuff. I was just like, you know, I think because I'm getting older, that I just been viewing a lot of things differently. Let me tell you what, honestly, because me and you talked about it the week Chrissy was out. When I came to your church and you wasn't there, and your pastor preached about conviction, I was praying about, like I was sitting there listening to his word was amazing. And I was just like, oh Lord, okay, is this one of those sermons where you about to just change my whole life? Or this about to be something, you know, y'all follow where I'm going, where you about to be like, no, come on. And he spoke to me in that service and said, no. He said, it's more so that you need to live a cleaner lifestyle and stop giving yourself over to the things that you know that you shouldn't, because you need more self-discipline, which is why I talked about the whole, like, certain things that I indulge in. I forgot why I was saying all of that.
That's good.
Don't piss me off. Well, no. I am saying that because within the conversation, I just understand that there's a different level and phase of learning with where your life is.
Yeah.
Facts.
When it comes to, again, the traditions of what we have come to understand with what our families would want our lives to look like. Now that I'm in this space where we have a lot of great conversations of,
this is where you start making
traditions.
the changes.
Yeah. And at the age of 32, I'm like, okay, no, I want my life to be here. I want to accomplish this. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to represent this. I want people to feel my energy and say he exudes love, peace, happiness. He's inclusive.
It's like you finally, you know, you get to the point where you like, all right, I'm out of that. I'm just out here, just, you know, living life. Now I want to really have a focus on where I'm going.
Yes,
so then those things kind of shift, because, and not saying that traditions are bad. Even the traditions that no longer serve you, sometimes they just serve you to a certain point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part about, I'm sure for all of us, the different things that your grandparents, your mom, your parents and grandparents, my parents and grandparents, there are certain things that they instilled in us that we were able to carry and use to get us to where we are. Now that we are the adults, now we're viewing things differently. And it's like, okay, how can I alter this? Because actually what you taught me got me to where I am, but now my way of thinking is different. How can I alter it? You know,
and
what I'm
also
saying?
life is different for us now.
Yeah,
so we can't
honestly.
function and do things the same way.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly how they did it
Exactly.
back in the day. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
High five for
So
that.
period. So like, of
So
course,
you
the
have
standards
you
are
have
okay.
to then attack it.
Yeah.
You gotta face this head on and be like, all right, we can't function like them because, like you said, times are completely different. Remember we were talking about, I think it's an episode you weren't here, when it was
Dang,
like,
y'all talked about a lot when I was here.
but it was more so about, you know, like men back in the day, you know, they paid for everything and women just stayed at home. But it's just like life was completely different. Like the things cost 5 times, up to 5 times even more of what they cost back in the day, and people aren't even making double of what they were making back in the day. You see what I'm saying? So those conversations then have to shift. We can't talk about, you know, unless I'm making high 6 figures or whatever the case is, but it's just like a lot of those women back in the day, they really didn't have much identity because
they couldn't get a job.
Exactly. Legally couldn't get a job.
They couldn't get a job.
Then your identity is just in being a wife and a mother.
Right.
Yeah.
So then it's just like, you know, the women now are experiencing things that their mothers and grandmothers would never experience.
Yeah.
Because it's like a whole new world. Us as black people, we're experiencing this world. That's why there's no more excuses.
Yeah.
Especially for us, like we're in a brand new world. Like, well, there's still racism and all types of foolishness out there. Like, we in a brand new world. Like, we can do things are different now, and so we have to approach things differently than people before us. Now, I will say this: there are some things that I want us to just leave alone, and the whole like mindset that a man does anything outside of super masculine or super macho, then he's gay. So I saw this on Facebook and I wanted to share this. It says toxic masculinity is going to be the death of black men. A man on Facebook said, one thing I installed in my son is umbrellas are for women. I believe he meant instilled. That's what the post says. Anywho, he goes on to say that when he was young, he used one and had an uncle whom he highly respected clown him for it. Stuck with him and he never used one again. Imagine having the tools to stay dry, but your own toxic masculinity won't allow you to use them.
I have pink ones, purple ones, green ones, turquoise ones. That's facts.
Like literally, like growing up, I was told by certain people in my family, boys don't cry, men don't cry,
which is stupid. But then y'all trying to figure out why men are just hauling off, killing their wives,
and they can't express their emotions and
Right.
communicate.
They don't know how to tell her like you hurt my feelings or this is this. So versus me telling you, I just haul off and just knock you out.
Because when I was little, that's how I handled conflict. If the kids picked on me, I didn't know how to express my feelings, so I just would fight. Mm-hmm. So it's this toxic BS that's being passed down as well that we got to get rid of. Because you mean to tell me that you just been getting rained on since you was a kid?
Yeah.
Because and that goes back to that book that we were reading, The Four Agreements. Like the stuff that you say to people, they carry that, especially when you kids, and you carry that. So now you telling your son you better not ever use an umbrella, but y'all live in Washington and it's the rainiest state,
Seattle.
That's what I'm saying. You live in Seattle and it's pouring down raining every day.
Crazy work, bro.
But because it's looked at as the way it is, a lot of that stuff we have to confront, and I think that we are confronting. I was seeing something earlier about, these women were responding to men with, painted nails and different things like that.
Oh, baby, because I'm giving you Renaissance.
But here's the thing. It was kind of like balanced as far as the response, though.
Still change your tire.
It was you're dumb. It was balanced as far as the response, though, because as far as like how do women view it? Like, would you be okay with your man having painted nails?
Well, they probably won't. But you know what? If I could be honest, and then we'll
because as it relates to arts, we are
okay. It's for me. Shout out to Pastor Dana Berry, who's like a spiritual mother to me. And I think Draylin, we talked about this. She had noticed that my nails were done when we went and did a gig in Philadelphia, and she took me to coffee. She wanted to do a general check-in, but she asked me, she's like, I know that your nails are done and you have a different type of art on it. She said, what is that about? And when she asked me that, I was not offended because I didn't feel like she was coming at me wrong. As a spiritual mother, which, we kind of have our opinions on, and I do respect it because it's not nothing in the book, the Bible. But I do feel like she has like a motherly love for me where she does take care of me. When I told her, I'm like, it's not a gay thing. Like, I love nail art. I think it's dope that male rappers are doing black nails or different things like that. Like, it's just not a gay thing.
So here's the thing. That is very new in the black culture.
Right.
As it relates to, I think, within the last, 100 years. Because I feel like a long time ago, men actually did like paint their nails. It was a part like men wore mascara and all that. If you go back and look at like Egypt and Africa and all that stuff, they actually did. But again, it's based on society. It's not based on God. It has nothing to do with God.
Right.
It has everything to do with how we look at stuff.
Yeah.
So if you look at like the white kids back in the 90s and stuff, they
had black nails.
Them rocker kids
black
or whatever,
nails.
Black nails.
Yeah,
but it's just a fun,
and
it's
black,
a fun
whatever that stuff you put on your eyelids, whatever it's
the
called.
eyeliner and
Yep,
mascara.
all of that.
But I think it's just an artistic expression. And again, I do understand because like certain churches, I get it. I'll put like last week, being honest, I work at an apostolic church. I put Band-Aids on my finger because I know that I know it.
Right.
I'm not even about
and
to
you
fight
don't,
that
and
battle
that's what
with
I'm saying.
y'all.
You don't even want to have that conversation.
No,
I
and
get
it's out
that.
of respect. I understand the imagery that it gives off, but I know for me, I am artsy. I'm eclectic. I love being that person.
And
everything is not a gay agenda with me.
Yeah.
It's not.
And I had a point and I kind of lost it.
And even if they think it is, it's that's your perspective and that's on you. But a lot of people that have met me, you will never be able to say, Kevin tried to jump my bones. You're a liar because you're ugly.
Mighty God.
You're not attractive.
My point before I forget it. So I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong because I've never been gay, but that's a crazy thing to say. But you got to set it up.
I got you.
So when it comes to that, I guess if somebody is gay, they are more open to things that are not societal norms. And I'm not just talking about anything sexual, but when it comes to clothes, when it comes to the music, like you feel freedom. That's why you kind of hear that word a lot when it comes to the LGBTQ community, because there is then, if I have there's no pressure on who I'm gonna be with. I'm gonna choose who I'm gonna be with. Then I'm gonna choose everything else about me. I'm going to question all the norms. I'm going to push all the envelopes because I'm no longer like put in a box. And I think that is for people who are in the LGBTQ. I just want to make sure I say that right. Community, the people that are in that Q plus, mighty God, the people that are in that community. I think that is what it also does is, and I'm not trying to say this is good or bad. I'm just looking at this in just this lens of people are then exposed and open to doing more than just the norm. So that's why you do see some people, and I think it's just the people who have an issue with themselves when they see people who are very expressive with the nails, with the with makeup or with the hair or clothes or whatever. It kind of makes them feel a way. But that's because your whole life you've been told that this is what you need to wear. This is how you need to wear it.
You
see what I'm saying? So you see a lot of that. So I think that's that friction there is this freedom versus chain mentality or slave mentality.
Yeah, but even with the freedom versus chain mentality with either homosexual, bisexual, lesbian, or straight, we don't have anything to prove. And I'm saying we as in everybody. We don't have anything to prove to people. We have to get out of the mindset of trying to prove something to somebody.
Yeah.
Live your life for us as Christians and believers. Live your life within the confines of what you believe that God is speaking towards you. I think sometimes now, some people are truly expressing themselves, and I ain't never gonna knock that. Express yourself fully, but I do believe that sometimes it's more so of I'm trying to prove something to somebody. Yeah. I've never had to feel like I had to prove something to nobody.
That keeps people freed, and because that's why people
free as hell.
That's why they gotta say, "Oh, God don't want you to do X, Y, and Z," because that's the only way some people will not live their life. Because if it's like, "Well, I don't think you should," it was like, I don't give a damn what you think I should do.
But throwing God on it puts more of an authority to make you question.
So exactly.
Because why would you tell the apostolics and the other people going to the movies you going to hell? Huh? But there's a television in my house.
It's all about environment. It's all about all of that stuff.
There's a TV in my house. But me going to see this on a bigger screen, at some point, if I didn't go see Rush Hour at the movies because back in the day, it took about a year for movies to get on TV. Mm-hmm. I watched it at home. Am I going to hell because I got a television in my living room? My family watched it.
I don't think people ever got to the point where they would question stuff and that kind of just scares me about.
But going to the movies was gonna send me to hell. That is so stupid.
Hey, the Bible says marvel
going
not.
About popcorn.
People thought it was about playing jacks and marbles when the Bible says marvel not, because niggas didn't know that
y'all marbles were loose.
They didn't know how to read, so they just listened to what the pastor was saying. He like marvel not, so they like, oh, you can't play with no marbles. He didn't say marble. But if you read the Bible yourself, but we ain't about to get into that. Y'all know we be going on the church tangent, but we ain't about to do that.
No, because I love the church. It's just I love the church. It's just I think certain people have preached it wrong.
Yeah,
nothing's wrong with the church.
It's the institution. People. It's
what we've made.
It's the system. Yeah, it's what mankind has made it, and it makes it really hard for people to really do anything constructive because there's so much greed in the way. It's just like with the government. It's kind of with anything. There's a lot of
type of institution.
Institution. And man is involved. They're gonna put their hands on something and just.
It's unfortunate because, like Kevin said, and I know we're ending, but like I love church.
Yeah,
love it down to the floor, honey.
Especially when you.
I don't love it that much.
Especially when you find a good one and you find your place. Like me personally, where I'm at now, I love it. And I'm getting that love for church back because for a minute I was like, F all y'all, F all this. I'm not doing it anymore. But I do appreciate the fellowship, but this time I'm doing it differently.
And so I want to talk about this in the future episode, and I'm not saying this is y'all or us or anybody that's watching, but there's a lot of people that are like this. And church becomes convenient or becomes the answer when people are going through.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that in the future episode, but I do want to talk about it because a lot of times people that's when they give their time, their tithe, their talent, all of that stuff to church because they're going through and they feel like, well, maybe because I haven't been doing this, then I'll start doing this and my life will turn around. And I think there's so much more to it. And the thing is, a lot of churches play on that because they know that's how people think. They know that's how people are. So that's a future episode we'll talk about. But yeah, I think today's conversation was another great one. Another one for the books.
Another one. Thank you.
You know, you gotta question this stuff. Like, am I gonna pass it down? Am I gonna apply it to my life? Am I gonna teach it to my children? you got to question that stuff because it hasn't served you thus far. So make sure that your kids don't have to deal with it. But some people want their kids to deal with the same stuff that they dealt with. But that's another conversation for another day. Any last words, Negroids?
Continue to follow your dreams. Continue to figure out what works for you. Create your own traditions and don't stop dreaming.
I was going to say, don't stop till you get enough.
In the spirit of Michael Jackson, but no.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you didn't have no last minute? Well, I got last words. Get your tickets for Dream Lab Live. I promise they're not going to do that there. I promise.
You know I am, and I'm ordering me a special seat.
Oh, a high chair.
I'm going to be so damn extra at this live show.
Oh, my God.
I'm coming
You
out
about
of
to
the
order an
household.
extra seat to sit on?
Yes. I have to be extra. It's RevCav Live. Oh, I'm coming with props. I'm getting a new bag.
Don't tell them too much. Don't
I'm
tell
not.
them too much.
Just know RevCav. It's
Wow.
time to end it.
All right, we'll see y'all next week. Bye.